You know, in the world of PC hardware, some products just become legends. And the NVIDIA RTX 3060, that was one of them. A real champion for mid-range gaming. But here's the thing. It was supposed to be history. Production had ended. It was gone. Well, a new rumor is swirling that suggests this ghost might just be coming back to haunt the GPU market. Is this a genius business move or just a ghost story? Let's dig in. So you have to ask, right? Why on earth would you bring back a card that's basically considered old news? What could possibly be going on behind the scenes at NVIDIA to even consider something like this? It all kicks off with this single kind of bombshell rumor that really got the whole tech community buzzing. So the word comes from a leaker who goes by Hongxing 2020. They basically claim that NVIDIA told its partners the RTX 3060 is coming back in the first quarter of 2026. And the crazy part? This was just weeks after everyone pretty much thought the card was officially gone for good. And to really get why this is such a shocker, you gotta look at the card's recent history. The story we all knew was one of a graceful retirement, not a sudden resurrection. Let's just walk through the timeline, right? The card launches way back in February 2021, and boom, it instantly becomes the go-to card for 1080p gaming. Fast forward to August 2024, and we start hearing reports that NVIDIA is telling its partners, hey, place your final orders. By December 2025, the supply chain is supposedly drying up. The story was over. The book was closed. Or so we all thought. And then this drops. The leaker posts this super simple, kind of cryptic message that just completely torpedoes the entire timeline we thought we knew. And that little crying emoji at the end, it just adds to the whole mystery, doesn't it? Like, is that exhaustion, surprise? Who knows? It's just classic tech drama playing out right in front of us. Okay, so here's where it gets really important. When we say the RTX 3060, it's not actually that simple. Because over its life, there were actually two very, very different versions of this card out there. So you had the original, the OG from 2021, with a really nice 12 gigs of VRAM. But then, in 2022, a new version came out that cut that memory down to 8 gigs. Now, here's the kicker. The leaker never said which version is making a comeback. And, as you're about to see, that little detail, it changes everything. See, it's not just about how much memory you have, it's about the highway that data gets to travel on to get there. The original 12GB model had this wide, 192-bit bus. Think of it like a 6-lane superhighway for data. The 8GB version, that got cut down to a 128-bit bus, more like a 4-lane road. For gamers, that wider highway on the original is a massive deal for performance. Which brings us to the billion-dollar question. If this whole rumor is true, why in the world would NVIDIA bring a 5-year-old GPU back from the grave? And you know what? The most popular theory is actually pretty simple. It all comes down to the cost of one specific component, the memory chips. Okay, here's how the thinking goes. All the brand new top-of-the-line graphics cards are moving to the next generation of memory, GDDR7. It's new, it's fast, and it's expensive. But the RTX 3060, it uses the much older, more established GDDR6 memory. So with the rest of the industry moving on to the shiny new thing, the price for all that older GDDR6 is probably dropping. It's actually a really clever move. They could reintroduce a known good, powerful, budget-friendly card without spending a dime on R&D for a new product. So that's the business angle, but what does any of this mean for you? You know, the person who's actually looking to build a PC or upgrade their rig. Let's break down what the real impact could be. Look, if the RTX 3060 comes back, especially if it's that 12GB version, it basically injects a proven, reliable workhorse right back into the market. This gives gamers on a budget another fantastic choice for 1080p gaming. And its return could put a ton of pressure on competitors to lower their prices in that mid-range sweet spot. For anyone building their first PC, it could seriously become the go-to value king all over again. Which leaves us with one last kind of wild question to think about. In an industry that is obsessed with what's new and what's next, could a 5-year-old piece of tech, literally brought back from the dead, actually become one of the best-selling graphics cards of 2026? I guess we'll have to wait and see.